Well, hello, good people. It's time for an episode of Creatively Shaded, your destination for all things Bay Area theater and beyond, honey, where the dish is served and the tea is hot. So let's join our hosts, Bay Area Black artist
Elizabeth Jones,
ShawnJ West,
Phaedra Tillery Boughton.
Come peek behind the curtain.
Hey, y'all.
Hello.
Another episode of Creatively Shaded is here. Episode 2
Episode 2
of season 2.
We're so happy to be back. I love seeing my friends. It took us forever to set up today, y'all, because we were just talking and catching up.
Yes.
So we had to leave some of it for y'all. So I'm happy to be with y'all, of course, on this bright Sunday. Y'all see it later, but this is a bright Sunday morning.
Yes.
Sunday morning.
Before we all go to our respective places in the theater world.
Absolutely. I'm happy to see you all too.
Happy to see you.
And I'm so excited that we're all so busy and we're so booked and we're living our lives and things are happening. So let's get started with this episode. Welcome to Creatively Shaded. We are your hosts, Phaedra Tillery Boughton, ShawnJ West,
What's up?
Elizabeth. Oh my gosh. All right, y'all. So let's get this started. In these theater streets, what have we seen?
I was present at last night's San Francisco Bay Area Theater Company's New Roots Festival,
Yes.
which you are on the team of them. I got to see 2 shows. So I saw The Day the Sky Turned Orange, and I saw a collection of stage readings called the
Creators Lab,
Creators
yeah.
Lab, which is very good. And so it was like, then you also had Gravity. I didn't get to see that,
Yeah.
but I wanted to see it. It was great to be in a space of professional artisans of color,
Ooh, my favorite.
Black folks particularly, and the camaraderie that we share in that space, and how being together just nourishes our spirit in that
Yes,
space.
it does. Yes, it
Because
does.
there's no pretense. There's no need to be like, oh, here
Tighten
comes
up.
Karen.
Right.
Oh, here comes Chad. You know,
Karen and Chad.
it's just sort of like, yo, girl, what's up? And that was nice just to be in that space and see folks. Some folks I hadn't seen for ages. Like I saw Tavia, who's directing Cinderella at African American Shakespeare Company. I haven't seen her since she had her baby.
Okay.
And I was like, it was just nice to see people that, it just.
Yeah, the festival brings community.
Yes.
If you don't know what the theater festival is, it's a weekend of new works that Batco has like either commissioned. We've reached out to the community to get new playwrights, which are in the Creators Lab. We were this year it was more about we put out a lot more content than usually. We usually partner with legacy companies, but a lot of our content came from us this year, which made us work a lot harder. But it was good. I also saw a show at the festival, which was Cuckoo Edible Magic. Cuckoo Edible Magic, written and directed by Reed Flores, which is a funny, like hilarious. Like I laughed loudly at the new work, and that's going to be one of the shows that goes into full production for SF Batco in March. But what I love about Batco, what we do, is take new work and keep nurturing it.
Yeah.
And to see it to come to fruition, because The Day the Sky Turned Orange is also going to go into full production next fall.
I'm so
So
glad.
you're able to see these like sneak peeks
Right.
of these shows at the festival.
Yeah.
So I had a good time. Like Cuckoo Edible Magic is a journey with these like 2 characters who, well, a lot of the characters like take edibles, but they take these edibles and like what happens and there's like family dynamics, but it was also like they turn into superheroes who are like fight. Like it was so hilarious, but it like paid homage to the AAPI community, especially Filipinos, to be direct, and like some of their history and some. And I love to learn
Of
and like
course.
hear their things that they experience, like their aunties and their family members, and I mean roaring laughter. It was like really good. So a lot of good theater out this weekend. You guys will miss it, but if you didn't see it, they are coming out to full productions that will happen in 2025.
Yes, and we will keep you all informed on that.
That's the only thing I really saw, I think.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
we're coming back to y'all every 2 weeks. We working
We are.
hard.
We're
so
working hard to do that. So
Sometimes we can see a show within those 2 weeks, and
And sometimes
sometimes
we
we
can't.
can't because we're in them.
Yeah, it
exactly.
it was tight.
All right. So we're going to move on to our first segment, to monologue or not. That is the question.
Child. So I had this conversation with a good friend of mine who's also an actor. And she said, I have a question for you because you're a director. She goes, why is it that when I go to an audition or I see an audition notice, it is asking for a monologue or a contrasting monologue? And she goes, I'm always challenged by that because one, I don't have a monologue that fits that show that I'm auditioning for. So why am I monologuing instead of you giving me a side from the show or giving me a monologue from the show? And I was like, when I hold auditions, I don't ask for a monologue because you've already practiced that monologue and it typically doesn't fit within the storyline of what it is I'm directing. And even if it does, you've worked on that monologue so much, it should be wrote, right? But sometimes you've worked on it so much that when I give you an adjustment, you can't do an adjustment.
Right.
So then you've kind of set yourself up for, unless you can take good adjustments.
Right.
Then it's great. But she was like, oh, what's the purpose of it? Like, I think for generals, it makes sense.
Yeah, I agree.
To do a monologue, like two contrasting monologues. But for an actual show that you are auditioning for, it should be selections from the show because that way you're able to like read the script, get an understanding of it, and really dive into it.
Yeah.
But a monologue out of context for a show that it doesn't fit.
Or you got to go find one that fits. And I don't got time to be doing
No
all
one
of that
does.
to go find it for them 2 minutes and dig through monologues and going on Facebook. Anybody got a monologue?
Yeah, it's a practice, a theater practice that has existed. We all know we're supposed to. So technically, we're supposed to have in our portfolio several different types of monologues, right? That we can just be able to whip out at any time, and that's true. But I've noticed whenever I've gotten audition notices lately, they're asking me for cold reads. They're asking me to come in prepared with sides, and so I do agree with you all.
Yeah.
It's something that can still be used, but it's depending upon the situation. And a lot of the times we're all moving towards what technology and it's different. And so you don't have to come in with your classical monologue.
Yeah,
or
I think theater is changing.
It is. And so we have to kind of it's always good to have monologues. We're not saying don't do that, but we are saying we want our time to be maximized, not wasted. So a lot of the theater companies are already doing that. Keep doing it.
I don't want to see you do a monologue that don't got nothing to do with
And
the
you're just
show.
looking at, and we up here like, the actor's like, yes, I did. And then the directors are just kind of like, the people behind the table, they're like, when's she going to get off this?
Well, I went to Generals, TBA Generals, which are coming up. If you have not signed up, make sure you sign up for TBA Generals. That's a good time to have a monologue,
Yes.
right? Because you're
Yes.
exposing yourself to several different people.
Yes.
They're all doing several different shows. You never know what you can walk in, so you can show your artistry. And I think that's the best place to have a monologue is at a general like TBA's. And then, because like for me, after I saw them at TBA Generals, then I was able to go, oh, I want to put them in this category, or I want to call them for this. And I was able to notate in the future. So now I go back to that spreadsheet all the time. Go sign up for TBA Generals. I go back to that spreadsheet all the time.
Drop it down
take
in a link.
notes, so that I can go, okay, I know what I'm looking for. I know what energy I'm looking for. Because I take those type of notes at TBA Generals. So I go back, and that spreadsheet is open. I don't know if you guys know, but to the theater companies that participate in TBA Generals, that spreadsheet that they have with their headshots and resume, that's open to us for a full year. So I can keep going back
That's
into
good.
what I saw to find who I need or what I need. So I do want to encourage our community, go sign up for those slots at TBA Generals.
Yeah, I did it last
We need
year.
to see you. Showing up for those generals also encourages those that are watching what more shows and what more talent they have in the Bay Area.
Yes.
So I think our community needs to show up and show out so they
sure.
start to choose to do more works that are for us.
Yes, absolutely.
And I would like to add to that, when it comes to your audition selections, this is what I was telling my friend, is you want to try and find a piece that shows range.
Yeah.
The thing is, they will say, I want to dramatic piece or I want a comedic piece, try to find a selection because you don't have that much time. So finding a piece that has range, shows a little bit of humor, shows a little bit of drama and intensity so that you've covered the gamut in a short period of time. And then they go, oh, and then they will most likely ask for another piece. So do you have another piece? And then that's where you can separate out your comedic, but your heavily dramatic one.
Yeah.
But you want to be able to, I want to see range because then I know what I'm working with.
Right.
And then they go, oh, they tapped into that. Now I know what they can do. So that's always for me as a director, what I want to see when I see a monologue that's outside of the piece.
Yeah. And for sure, do your due diligence. It's always good as actors to, keep abreast with new plays that are coming out. Do your best to try and just read monologues, read plays, go see other plays. All right. So we're going to move on. Casting collective. Can we talk about the elephant in the room?
So this was a question that was sent in by another actor, and I'll preface this by saying,
Come on.
I love how our platform is encouraging conversation.
Yeah, absolutely.
And people are really they want to say something, but they don't know how to say it.
Yes.
And so they are reaching out to us
To say it.
to be that,
'Cause
that
we don't
avenue
say
for
it.
them. So several actors have approached me and said, so what is casting collective?
Right.
And from my understanding, and you all can
Yes.
extrapolate on this as well, is that they are like a casting agent that some of the theater companies within the Bay Area are utilizing to help them with their
Filter through, yeah.
diversity of casting. And I think this came about after
Sorry.
the George Floyd and the Reckoning and
Yep.
Yeah.
the Living Document, that theater companies are feeling like, oh, we need help in doing this casting of
This
diverse
Right.
backgrounds. And what we have found is that the use of casting collective hasn't always met the challenges of that goal.
Right.
And so the question that I keep getting asked is, who are they?
Right.
Well, their pictures are on their website. So go to their website. You can see who they are.
Because
There's that.
But the who are is more like who they be in the sense of what is their background,
Right.
what is their experience.
Yeah.
And all of that is on the website.
When it comes to casting and all that. And so I'm going to turn it over to y'all.
Okay, so all of that is on the website. But I think the issue here is, what is their selection process? Like,
Right.
So we all, I know, for instance, that I know people on the casting collective, and I get emails from the casting collective for shows.
So have I.
And at the bottom of their emails and stuff, it says if you're you'll get an email from the theater company through the casting collective.
Yes.
And at the bottom it'll say, if you want to know about more shows, make sure you're signed up on casting collective.
Yes, that's true.
Right? So this is us submitting our stuff to you, and then they get to choose who goes to auditions. I think there's a conflict of interest personally, because if I don't know about the casting collective, then I don't
That's
know
true.
about an audition.
Right.
And I don't know if this is, I feel like it's a new way of gatekeeping.
Yes.
I love y'all, and I'm no shade. Well, a
Little bit.
because we're on Creatively Shaded. But I'm trying to understand, because you said some people don't get an audition, and the directors are like, why wasn't this person there? Why wasn't that person there? And they may have already been in the casting collective database, or may not have been. And so it just doesn't seem like it's not fair.
Yeah.
I will go on to say that I also have had an experience that I felt like was kind of funky when it comes to the casting collective. And I love y'all, but I just have to be honest, and this is my platform.
Flip it.
So I was auditioning for more than one show. And I was auditioning for one show over here, one show over here. And Casting Collective is running both auditions.
Right.
And the shows were during conflict times. No one knows what I feel inside, or what my biggest choice is, what show I want the most.
Right.
And I don't feel like my negotiations or where I submit conflicts or any of that should be discussed between a center person for two different theater companies.
Ooh, yeah, sure.
I just feel like that wasn't fair. That's my right of
You make the
way.
decision.
I shouldn't be able to make a decision. So if I say, hey, I have conflicts over here, but I don't submit those conflicts over here, I don't know, but that's my right as an actor.
Of course.
To choose, and I feel like they were the middle person, could see what I was doing on both sides, and that took away my agency. And I didn't hire them to work for me.
Right.
Does that make sense?
That makes total sense because it's I
just feel like it's a weird thing. And so I work for SF Backho as a casting manager, right? And so what I'm doing is like I said, I went to TBAs and I see people there and I pull from that. I know people in relationships and I pull from that. But we also do a mass emails, mass thing. So it's not just what I have or who I know. It's widespread through several avenues. And I don't know that I feel that Casting Collective always post or share the opportunities that are out there to see new people that they don't know.
Yeah, it's a little sticky icky. I will say that. It's a little confusing. And another question that has been posed is, well, who appointed them?
It's their own creation. They built a model and they're selling their model to theater companies.
Sure.
And they I don't know if they gain profit. I don't know if there's a financial gain for them, but they've built this thing and said, we're going to help because of the pandemic, what happened during the pandemic. And they thought they were helping to change the way the audition room looks. And I'm saying that as we get further away from 2020 and the world is changing, it's still starting to feel a little gatekeeper-ish.
Yep.
It doesn't seem like it's widespread. It's for the global majority. It's for all opportunities to happen or for everybody to get in the room. It still seems a little bit guarded.
Yeah, and just like little simple things about like communication too that I find that's a little, it falls through the cracks.
But I also don't want to blame Casting Collective because it's also the theater companies that are hiring them.
Right. Sure.
Because we don't know what those conversations are in the room, who they're asking for. But I know that I have met people who are like, oh, why weren't you there at that audition? Or why you didn't know? Or I got an email for a show 4 days after a girl who sits next to me in the show that I'm currently in.
Yeah, so I think to summarize it, what we're basically saying is that Casting Collective does exist, but to theater companies, you should not rely on them solely to bring you the performance that you want. Continue, like Phaedra was saying, to do your own work, to do the auditions for your theater company, to build relationships. And actors, you also do the same thing. You got to put in a little extra work if you want to make sure that you're getting seen at the different theater companies that you would like to get seen as much as possible and as within reason. Okay.
But also theater companies and directors go out and see other people in shows.
There we go.
Go support the theater community that you talk about so that you can see new people. Like, for instance, the Creators Lab had all kind of new people. Those a lot of people were folks I pulled from TBA auditions.
Well, there you go.
And
I also did a lot of casting for the New York Theater Festival, so I'm saying it's possible to find.
it is. And I do that when I see a show, and I will hold on a program.
Yes.
I hold
and
on
I
to
will
them.
go, and I will call that actor in or add them onto the audition notice list. And if they go, oh, that certain person hadn't responded yet, I will reach out to them and go, hey, so there should be a notice that you received. Is there a need? And they go, oh, I didn't know. Like they either didn't read
They didn't know.
They didn't know, or they get it from me and they go, oh, I will definitely be there, right?
Yep.
Because now I've done my outreach. So it's a twofold thing. We can't be dependent upon one source.
Yeah.
To get
absolutely.
people in the room.
I love that.
And I know there's a challenge between equity and non-equity folks where the equity folks get more slots and stuff like that. So I think that's another conversation.
There's a lot of layers.
So,
yeah. All right, moving on. It's your favorite time.
Center stage shade.
Again.
Light. This was a light one.
This is a light shade.
ShawnJ don't care about this shade. I
We care
it's
about
my
it.
shade and I feel shaded.
So
we're going to talk about it.
Center stage shade.
Center stage shade.
Okay, so what happened was, I realized I love Asian. I'm proud of my age. I learned that in the Black Feminist Guide.
That's
We're supposed
right.
to respect it, rejoice it.
Every
That's
day's
a
a
great
gift.
thing.
It sure is a gift.
I'm confident in my age of 42, honey. Yes.
That's right. And I'm 44.
Come on. Okay, so I'm confident in it. But I will say, hey, in the last couple of shows, I've been in or been a part of, I realized I am older in the room. And I've been called auntie. Hey, auntie. Oh, auntie, there go auntie. Wait a minute. I don't know if I'm ready to take that title like that. Like, not that I'm not embracing aging, but I'm also learning that that's how the younger community shows love and respect. Like my mom, when I was a kid, my mom used to say, you need to put a handle on her name. I couldn't call the lady that came over to visit Cheryl. If her name was Cheryl. I'd either say Miss Cheryl, Auntie Cheryl, Cousin Cheryl, neighbor Cheryl, friend of my mama Cheryl. I had to put what they call a handle on the name.
Or ma'am or sir.
Yeah. And so now I'm recognizing that this newer generation that's the way they say, that's their way of putting a handle on it.
Yeah.
But Liz, I don't know how I feel being called auntie in the theater room.
It is a little strange. I'm like, I'm still, because I'm in my mind, I'm like,
yeah,
I still
feel
got
like I'm hitting it. Yeah.
I mean, I embrace that I'm the auntie in my family, but amongst my peers,
my theater peers,
my people I work with, then sometimes I'm like, yes, I am the auntie because my knee hurts.
Right. Wait. I'm hitting the choreography and they like, go auntie, go auntie.
And you're like, yeah. I'm tired.
Don't do me like that, but I am tired. Hold on, where my water bottle?
No.
I think I hear what you're saying to a degree, but I think auntie for me, because it's part of our culture.
It is.
And that I think about my aunties growing up. They... rest their souls. They were not quiet. They weren't tiny. And like they didn't shrink, right?
Right.
And so like they were the ones you went to for good advice.
Yep.
Who were going to tell you the 100 all the time.
Okay.
And so I think I think it's a reclaiming of auntie.
Okay. Yeah.
That kind of not fell to the wayside, but has sort of. The younger generation are now going back to how we were raised.
Right.
And that there's a indifference to the elders. And I'm an elder. I'm the elder at the table. And
Uncle ShawnJ.
And when I did Dreamgirls at Berkeley Playhouse, and the cast started calling me an uncle. And for a hot minute, I was like, what the fuck is that shit? But then I was like, oh, because I was this senior member of that cast.
Sure.
And I think even of some of the crew. And so I've embraced Unc. Now Pops is pushing it. But I'm kind of okay with it, depending on who's saying it, right?
Okay.
Because I do embrace that, and I do take on that responsibility as being an elder, as being a mentor. And so I do take it serious because I am 57 years old. 58 in January. No nip tuck has been done.
Come on,
because it don't crack.
It's sort of like, so I hear what you're saying, but I think it's really responsible. And I think, like I said, I take it seriously so that when I am in the room, I have a responsibility to show up in a way that guides them along.
Sure.
So I would say for you all, it's the same thing, is that when you are in the room as aunties, they are looking to you for how to behave.
You're right.
Ooh, I be bad.
That's true. Well,
especially when I'm not directing and I'm just in the show, I be cutting up. But I love you, Rodney. Rodney had to direct me in this last show, and we laughed a while. But I guess I'll take the love. I just wasn't. I guess this is the first time it happened, and they caught me. I was like,
caught you off guard, huh?
Hey,
who is it? You looking behind you trying to find the auntie?
Who you talking to?
Because you were in the room with a bunch of youngins.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
But she held her own.
And I think that's the thing too, is because the fact that our energy, because there's even this thing that's going around on social media for people trying to figure out why women, particularly in their 40s, particularly black women, are looking younger than the people who were in their 40s
because
like 20-something years ago.
And
I'm like, it's true. It's because it's also our energy. And I think that that's what kind of resonates and, attracts other people to us. So they like, look at Auntie. She still got it.
She still got it. I got to hit it. Got it.
Oh my God.
Come on, choreography.
So I'll be your auntie, okay?
All right. That's a little shady, I felt shady when I first heard it. Like, don't
That's
do
a
me
little
like
light
that.
shade.
But I'm okay now. I love y'all too. Auntie love y'all.
Auntie love the kids. Auntie love the kids.
So before we move on from this shade,
Oh,
Okay.
Lord. I'm scared.
I have a question about. So when you get a part
Yes.
and you all went to the audition, have you ever been one of those people who go, "Why'd they get that part?"
Yeah.
And how do you manage that?
Oh my God, yeah. Oh, fuck yeah.
We've had this conversation though before, and I'm gonna put my director hat on and say what it is. It's because that director had that specific vision, and that's why they got that part.
But why? Not against the director, but like a fellow actor. So how do you balance that when, let's say, I go up against me? I don't really audition much because I don't act that much.
Okay.
I act a fool, but there's two of us up for the same part.
Right.
Yes.
So and so gets the part.
Yes.
I feel a certain kind of way,
Yes.
but I'm directing that energy towards that actor.
Oh.
Like, how do you manage that? Or have you ever received that energy from another actor where, they got that part.
Oh, okay.
They really got, and it's kind of a catty type of thing, but have you ever experienced that and how do you manage that?
I've experienced something to that degree. I auditioned for a part, and when I came in there, I was really excited about it because I was like, this is going to be great. When my personal practice is I audition and I have to have fun. I have to have a good time. Otherwise, why am I there? So I'm prepared, but then I come in there, it's like the accompanist isn't like, he's kind of like, okay, just his attitude, the energy was weird in the room. I'm like, what is this? I sing, and even though I'm prepared, the way it comes out, and he doesn't even want to like have me sing certain parts. And I'm like, this doesn't feel right to me. And I just personally think that they had already decided who they were going to pick, and they just had me come in to possibly be the understudy. And I just feel like, I was like, that's shady to me. Like, that's not right. And I'm not saying that theater companies, they gonna do what they gonna do, but to me, transparency is like the best. And so in my mind, I was like, then I found out that a person got the part, and I was like, oh, really? But so I had some thoughts about it. I had some comments, but here's what I didn't do. I didn't go on social media and blast this person. I didn't reach out to this person and be like, so I heard you got No, I didn't do that. What I did was I had to like have my little tantrum about it on my own without allowing my feelings to impact and affect other people. You can feel however you want to feel about something, but it's not right for you to project that onto other people. And that's how I particularly handle it in that situation. I was salty. Yes, I was.
Yeah. I get in my feelings when I don't get a part and it's somebody else. Of course I get in my feelings. But I also have learned in my auntie stage that what God has for me will be for me.
Say that.
And if it's supposed to be for me, then I'm going to get the part. And if it's not, another door is supposed to open for me, and I'm supposed to walk through that one.
Walk through it.
So, do I have my little feelings, and do I cry at home and Jazz be like, it's okay, and I'll be having to eat a Snickers or whatever I need to do to get my feelings for it, have some cookies and cream ice cream or whatever it is. Yes. Will I go see the show? It depends on where I'm at in my emotions.
Right.
And where I'm at when it's time for the show to come out. You know what I mean? So I have to deal with it the way I have to deal with it. But of course, not projecting that onto the other actor. The other actors went in there and did what I had to do too. We both had to go in there and show and prove. The director had a vision, and I guess I'm a little bit okay with it now because I have been directing and I have chosen and I have seen where people are like really passionate about wanting a part. But the vision I saw, even in their passion, wasn't what I saw. So
sure.
You did a great job, but you ain't gonna get this job.
You ain't gonna get that job. You ain't gonna get that one.
You ain't gonna get this job. And that's okay because some opportunities are not for you. It's maybe meant for somebody else. And it's time for, you can do all kind of growing. You never know what's next.
Yeah. You absolutely
never know what's next.
And that's what helped me when I started directing and I was on the other side. I was like, oh, there's so many variables that go into casting
it.
that even you may be the perfect person for the part on paper. But then when it comes to the dynamics in the room,
the chemistry,
conflicts, as we have spoken about before.
Y'all play way too much when it comes to conflicts.
We did talk about that.
And want to lead role, but can't never be at rehearsal.
Go back to season 1 and check it out.
A lot goes into that. So I think that helped me.
Sometimes you sacrifice actors. Like you sacrifice, like it's a big puzzle piece.
It's a big puzzle. What is that thing they call?
Jigsaw?
Not jigsaw. It's something where you have to Jenga. No, Tetra.
Oh, Tetris.
Yeah, you got to turn and figure it all out. It's a big puzzle piece. So you can't take some of those things out, and you definitely can't put that out. Maybe you listen. If you don't get the part, maybe you should go to the show so you can see what you did wrong, or
just
if you
support.
even want to work with that director
Because you don't know.
Because you don't know what you're protected from. Don Troupe told me. Your energy, your light is so big, Faye. You know, she calls me, I love this woman. She's my very theater angel. Your energy, your who you are is so bright. I'm afraid for you to go to certain rooms because I don't want them to dim your light. Then I'm teaching you something.
Absolutely.
If I'm not supposed to be there, I'm not supposed to be there. And I'm okay with that because you never know what is in that room.
Yeah. You sure don't.
You got to understand when you're being protected from something or guided to the next thing. So be okay.
Be all right.
That, and that's what we do as actors. It's in our job description to keep auditioning.
Absolutely.
The show only lasts for so long, friend, and then it's gonna be a new one. You know that this is the industry that we're in.
Yeah, but it's an acknowledgement that we are human beings and we have feelings, and that's how we perform. We pull from all of our experiences.
And you can talk to people that you trust and have your feelings. Like I could call ShawnJ and be like, man, why that bitch didn't get it and I got it? I could do that to ShawnJ because I know that conversation stays with ShawnJ.
Right.
Some of y'all talking to people and then it goes here and here and here and here and here and they get back to the person who's talking about.
Exactly. Or sometimes they get back to the theater company and then they decide that they don't want to work with you because you are catty and
telephone ain't
unprofessional.
right because you know the way the story get back to somebody half the time and what you said in the first place. So
I hope that answers your question.
It does. I was curious because people, and like I said, and I take my role as mentoring very seriously, and I try to tell actors that it's not always about you.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is hard to hear as an actor.
Right? Because if you get a reputation in the community, it then does become about you.
Sure.
Because I know that I will look at an audition list for people coming to audition for me, and I will go, oh, I don't need to see them. Oh, I don't need to see them. Or I know their work and I know their behavior behind the scenes.
Yes.
And I will go.
That also don't get you a job sometimes, child.
Yeah.
Because I be telling on y'all.
Yeah. And so people have auditioned for me. And so we're doing the casting part. And they go, well, how about this person? I go, I don't need to. They're not even considered. They go, well, why? I go, I know about their history. And that person may not know that, but I do. And I do that instantly. Like I will let you audition if you filled out an audition request. I won't not have you show up, but I won't invite you if I know, right? So it depends on how you show up. If you signed up, I'll see you. But also I will go, well, we've seen everyone and everyone's like, oh, I love so-and-so. Oh,
no, thank you.
And it's instant. So you don't need to be phony or fake. You need to be authentic and true, but you need to be real and good because we want to be in a rehearsal hall with people who feed our spirit and not dim our light.
Yeah. Because what we do,
it's vital part of
who we are. It comes from here. It comes from our soul.
Sorry, I got my soapbox for a second.
Ooh, can I have another shady moment? Ooh.
Okay.
What's this, a shade fest?
Sorry, we thought we didn't have no shade today, but
we got
it turns out to be shade.
It's spilling out.
And it's not even shade, to be honest. It's actually a thank you. We had on season 1, one of our episodes, we talked about how I was mistreated on social media and online behind my feelings, and our casting of Legally Blonde and how I was treated. We ran into the individual recently, and ShawnJ actually approached them and made me feel respected and protected. And I want to thank you for that out loud. There are some times that we don't feel safe in rooms. And often, it's not often that I don't have the words. It's not often that I don't know what to say. And I was highly offended and hurt. And I realized the more I'm talking about it, I was hurt more than I realized.
Yeah.
Because I didn't realize I wanted somebody to like protect me for that.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you because you stood up for me yesterday in moments that I couldn't find the words. And I appreciate that in our community, and I appreciate you speaking up for me when I couldn't speak up for myself. So thank you. And I want to say that out loud to the community, because some people didn't know how to respond in the moment. Some of you didn't respond in the moment in the way I felt like I should have been protected. But I appreciate you for speaking up for me and protecting me yesterday. So I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna let that be there.
I'm like,
but
what?
yeah, like, stand up for each other, take care of each other in the rooms and in spaces, especially when you're being vulnerable with your art. But stand up and speak up for each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love you.
I felt that.
I
That
love
was.
you. Oh,
I'm over here crying out the side of my. I'm like,
okay.
okay.
We can move on now. No
All
more
right,
shade.
we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on. So now we're gonna talk about what shows should you be seeing. JaJa's African Hair Braiding, which is a West Coast premiere at Berkeley Rep, written by Jocelyn Bio and directed by Whitney White. Step into the vibrant world of this beloved Harlem hotspot, where West African immigrant braiders work their magic on the locals' locks. Amidst the lively buzz of a scorching summer, love ignites, dreams soar, and secrets unravel. Beneath the surface lies a current of uncertainty, pushing this close-knit community to confront the challenges of being outsiders in their own neighborhood. On stage now until December 15th, tickets at berkeleyrep.org, and the three of us are going to be there on December 7th. There is going to be an affinity night.
Yes. Come out and join us.
Join us.
Especially the locals. We know Berkeley Rep doesn't always use local actors, but I am learning to give them a lot more respect for the way they're starting to take care of their community and the local area, and offering affinity spaces, not just in 2020, but continuing to offer 3 different times to have an affinity space during the run of their show, during the holidays when times are tough.
Yes.
I respect you and I appreciate you. So if you can come out December 7th, the 3 of us will be there. We'll probably have our mics and lights and make sure we make a whole to-do out of it. So come to the Infinity Space. I'm excited to see this show.
Me too.
The photos look amazing.
I'm trying not to look at the photos.
I've been following them on social media. They've been having the wig people on
I know.
their social media, talking about all the hair and things that are in that show. So I am ecstatic to see this on December 7th.
And it's also important for us to show up for them, even though they may not be local artists.
Yes.
They are still part of our community.
Our global community.
Global, national community.
National
they're
community.
Black folks, right?
Yes,
so
they're Black.
They need to see us in the audience as well.
Maybe we could talk to Berkeley Rep and maybe getting them to talk to us. We can have some conversations
Yeah,
with
I
the
would.
actors.
Definitely.
We'll work on that.
Yeah,
And
we'll
bring that
definitely
to you
work on
guys
that.
if we can.
Yes, we will. Yeah.
So is it?
Yeah, I could read. Okay, I left my backpack, so I gotta share. Okay, the next show, A Red Carol with SF Mime Troupe in cooperation with the Z Space, featuring Valina Brown. Let's go, Valina!
Woo!
An activist adaptation, based on A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens, adapted for the stage and directed by Michael Jean Sullivan. Come on, power couple.
Yes.
6 people telling the story, playing all the roles in an abandoned industrial space. This isn't your average feel-good Christmas tale, but it was never supposed to be. With the music, joy, and plenty of harsh truths about his time and ours, A Red Carol is a demand for economic and social justice Dickens wanted then and we need now. On stage December 14th through the 29th. Tickets at sfmt.org.
Yes.
And this is a little further into December, so we may talk about this again, but it's Soulful Christmas.
Yes.
At Lorraine Hansberry Theater Company, running December 20th through the 22nd. Celebrate the season and renew your sense of hope and joy with Soulful Christmas, a cherished holiday tradition now marking 10 unforgettable years at Lorraine Hansberry Theater. Led by artistic director Margo Hall and the incomparable Dr. Yvonne Cobbs, this heartwarming performance brings together the Bay Area's most powerful voices in a joyful evening of Christmas classics that fill the heart and lift the spirit. Running December 20th to the 22nd, you can get your tickets at box office at lhtsf.org.
My family has been going to that for years.
Yeah, it's so
like
much
it's a great fun, especially if you good old church folks that like to hear some good old gospel.
It gets
Go and see that show.
Yeah.
There she go.
Oh, sorry. I was getting
And
into it.
you'll find a fuller list of shows to see on our site. we're just sort of condensing our presentation so
Yeah.
that you come to our IG page and find out what else to see.
Yes. All right, I'm going to plug this because this is what I'm currently working on.
Ooh.
I am lighting design. I'm co-lighting design with Ashley Monday. A Charlie Brown Christmas, which is playing at Contra Costa Civic Theater in El Cerrito.
Yay!
Come see my lighting design. Come see my lighting design.
It's the second
The
one,
second
friend.
one. I'm so grateful and I'm so thankful, and it's so much fun. It's a lot of work, and I'm still learning as I'm working, and I'm so thankful for that. But it opens November 23rd and plays through December 15th, 2024, and you can get your tickets at, I'll plug it in here because it's not coming up, but I'll put where you can get the tickets.
We're so proud of Liz. If you noticed during our first season 1, Liz and I took a lighting class, and Liz has had past lighting education. So she is moving the needle on being a lighting designer, which we are so proud of you.
Thanks, guys.
Yes, we need more designers of color, and specifically more designers who are Black when we're doing shows that have a Black aesthetic. So it's very important.
Yes, and I have to continue to shout out Dr. Stephanie Ann Johnson for being my mentor and for loaning me Ashley. Hey, Ashley.
Girl.
All right. Well,
Oh my gosh.
what?
You know what?
What?
That wraps up our episode.
I was like, what?
Well, thank you so much for tuning in today. We love coming and talking to you about the Bay Area Black theater experience.
Yes.
That's what Creatively Shaded is all about.
Yeah, find us on Instagram, YouTube, and any platform where you get your podcasts.
Yes, all the streaming platforms. And we're trying to get our Blue Sky up. Bear with us because
It's new.
it is.
You know, we'll see.
What's
We'll see
Blue
what happens.
Sky?
It's the new
That's
Twitter.
what I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
just
the
a
new-
talent, y'all.
Bless her heart. It's the new Twitter.
Watch next. We're gonna put on the socials. We're gonna just take some video and see and show y'all what Phaedra does when we set up.
I'm told to sit in the chair and not touch nothing.
All right, everybody. Share Creatively Shaded with someone. You never
Yes.
know who it may reach. Share.
Click like and subscribe.
Absolutely.
Get that on YouTube, that alerts bell so that you get notified of new releases, both of episodes and little snippets. So yes.
Absolutely. And we all must stay. What? Black.
Oh, before that,
What?
I knew it was gonna do it.
What did I?
stay fierce, fabulous, and focused, and always stay black.
I was so black I had to run that back.
Bye, y'all.
Bye. Thank you.